Hey there everybody, Matt O'Ree back here with you. Once again, welcome back to Mob on TV. Here we are still, the official YouTube channel of the Matt O'Ree Band. If you haven't clicked subscribe, please do so now. Also, hit that little bell icon. You'll get notifications every time I upload new videos. And if you dig this video, give it some thumbs up in that section, just so that all those things help me continue to keep making videos to bring to you. I have to say, right out of the gate here, I got some really nice emails from some people saying thank you so much for putting the time and effort into making great quality videos, and I'm happy to do so. I don't like to do things half-assed, and my dad used to say, if you're not going to do it right the first time, don't bother doing it at all. So that's stuck with me these many years. Anyway, so we're into Geartorial season number 3, pedals, pedals, pedals. I thought I was going to run out of pedals, and I kind of am, but I managed to sneak out of the house yesterday and do a rendezvous with my friend Jim. He did a whole bunch of pedals on loan for the Geartorial. So thank you, Jim, and we got a bunch more stuff coming up next week for you. So today we're talking about the Marshall Gov'nor pedal. This was like a 80s into the 90s, I think, creation from Marshall. One of those hidden gems that a lot of people forgot about. Again, pairing the right pedal with the right amp with the right guitar makes a huge difference, right? So I don't know how this would do on a Fender amp versus a Marshall amp. I honestly bought this because this was an influence from the guy that I studied with, Bernie Browsweater from BB and the Stingers, a 90s band into the 2000s here in New Jersey, in that big-time Hendrix kind of vibe. So Bernie used to use this pedal, and that's why I bought it. And again, it was in the back of my locker here, much like the Overdrive, Super Overdrive, and I didn't forget about it. I know I have it. I just didn't really spend a whole lot of time with it. So pairing this up with the right amp, I think I did, and also now I have even more of an appreciation as to why my friend and mentor Bernie used this pedal, because I was a big Tube Screamer fan at the time. Of course, that's that story about the 808 that I bought, and Bernie didn't dislike them, but he had a different path that he was choosing to follow. Again, all of us should, right? So we're trying to find our own sound, find our own gear. Doesn't have to be what so-and-so used, but sometimes it is. So pairing this up with an EL84 based Trainwreck, Bernie used to use a Liverpool with a basket weave cabinet. I actually own the basket weave cabinet. It's a 68. So I did this with my Rocket. It's still EL84. It's not exactly what Bernie was using, but it's in the same ballpark. So he also would play it with a pre-cbs Stratocaster, along with a Thomas Orkin Crybaby Wah, which I have one, and I did a video on it in season 1, I believe. So if you missed that, go check that out. Anyway, so Marshall Gov'nor, much, much more gain and overdrive on tap, of course, as you can imagine, from something from Marshall, than any Tube Screamer would have. The great part about it is that it has much more adjustable EQ section. So you have an output knob, we have bass, middle, treble, and level, or actually output's also, I'm sorry, I'm reading it upside down. It's actually a gain knob. So gain, bass, middle, treble, level. Also has one of those unique little switches, much like the X-Bandora pedal had. And I think I recall Bernie saying that he had issues with those switches. But anyway, so that's, hopefully they don't go bad on you if you have one. I did do a search for more of these, and they're kind of harder to find, I think. I guess every once in a while they pop up, but it's a really great pedal. I got some fantastic results. Again, now I know why Bernie used it. For those of you who might have known who he is, or have done some research and found out who he is and what kind of style he was. So without further ado, the Marshall, the Gov'nor, let's jump into it. Here we go. So what'd you think? I gave you two different settings in the gain stage of the pedal. Of course, we can sit there and tweak the EQ section all day long, but it would kind of be redundant, I think, after a while. So I wanted to give you two different gain stage clips of what the pedal is capable of doing, how much gain it has, right on tap, which is a lot. It's a lot more, again, than a tube screamer would have. But I think the tone of the pedal with this particular rig that I played through, especially with the Strat, even with the Les Paul, very silky smooth. You can hear in the second clip of the Strat and the Les Paul with the higher gain setting that, again, I was getting more of that microphonic thing happening, probably because I'm sitting on top of the amp. If I moved a little bit away, I'm sure it would have diminished, but you could still get that kind of gain, I'm sure, without that squealing noise that you started to hear there at the end. But the smoothness and still, I want to say chime is still in there, even with the heavier distorted setting. I was really impressed in what this pedal can do with this particular amp. Now, I don't know what it would do with an EL34 or a 6L6. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far. But this is the first review I've ever done of this pedal. I know they haven't made it in a long time, but I'm sure if you dig it, you could probably find one out there. Pretty cool. So thank you, Marshall. Anyway, so we're, today's Friday. We're going to skip the Geartorial, I know, tomorrow, because I have an acoustic performance of, it's either the wife and I or me solo. I don't know which one yet we're going to put out, but it's going to be, it's a video that we shot at my friend's recording studio in Cadiz, Ohio, called Tony's Treasures. And he, my buddy Mark out there runs a really cool organization called Blues for a Cure. And he's always doing concerts and self-promoted CDs of all the artists that come through that play the concerts to help raise money for cancer research and cancer patients. He does such a great thing out there. We've been involved with Mark for a long time, and we're just always happy to be out there. So we did a bunch of acoustic performances at his studio while we were there, just to kill some of the downtime, and we also wrote a bunch of new songs too, which I hope to get to them at some point during this quarantine. So tomorrow is going to be an acoustic performance video. Sunday, we're back with the Sofa Couch Concert. So tune in here live, Mob on TV, on the live YouTube, and also on our Facebook pages too, the Matt O. Band Facebook pages. You can tune in for the live concert that we're going to be doing on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Monday, we'll be back with more Geartorial videos through the whole week. Don't worry. I got a bunch more stuff. Like I said, my buddy Jim hooked me up with a bunch of pedals. We got some fun stuff, including the revisit of that Tube Screamer thing. I think that's going to be a fun experiment. So in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. If you have to go out, do the right thing, you know, keep the distance, the gloves, the mask, whatever you have to do. Don't get this virus. It's not looking too good. So hang in there. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad to bring some ray of sunshine to your daily quarantine lives. And I'll see you tomorrow for that acoustic performance. Sunday for the couch concert. Monday, we're back here with the Geartorial. Stay safe, guys.